are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, been good. No complaints, no complaints.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
But we are back. Again, I am Diva Wanda, and I'm with,
Diva Ukithia.
and we are here to discuss our experiences, our opinions from our perspective, so don't come for us. Today's topic, Diva you said we were going to be
Talking about marriage and long-term commitment.
that's a good topic right there for me.
Long-term commitment. This came up actually because I was talking to one of my girlfriends, and I was telling her, I was married for many years.
Okay.
And I was telling her that I understand now when I hear people say, I don't have to get married again. We could just be in a committed relationship and he come over or she come over and we can just kick it like that. And at first I was like, ooh, but now I understand.
Well, when I think about it, I've always wanted to be married. I've been married before too, and was married for a little over, right at 15 years. And I still want to get married again. It's not that I see it as a prize, but I see it as something I can sink my teeth into, something that is mine, and I don't have to worry so much about it. I can go throughout my life and know that, like my home, I could come home to it. But none of that is, a guarantee, but that's what it gives me.
I think once at this big age that I am now, we have a lot to lose. And you start
tangible, like homes and things like that.
And you have a lot to lose, and you start thinking of those things. The more mature I get, and the more I get, and things I'm involved in, you start thinking, oh, I got a lot to lose. So, do you want somebody to come in and finesse you? Because it has happened, especially with women of age. They find someone that don't quite have what they have, and it's not always just material things, but they don't quite have what they have, and they end up having to give the person half of, or they paying alimony, or they getting half of their retirement, or they end up having to sell their homes, and all
because they didn't think it through.
Right. So I understand now when I hear people say, no, I just keep what I got, you keep what you have, but we're going to be committed to each other. I come to your house and stay the night. You can come to mine and stay the night. We can go on trips. We're in a committed relationship, but we just have our own places. And I kind of like being by myself some days.
I can agree, but I have a slightly different perspective, and that is, I do have things that I wouldn't want to give half if it didn't work with a spouse. But what about a prenup? I still want the marriage. And I can do a prenup. But a prenup makes folks feel that you don't trust them.
Right.
And they get into their feelings about it and say, well, what do you have that I want? That's not what it's about. It's about protecting what I've worked for. Because if things don't work out with me and man, then I've set the legacy up for my kids, not for him. I don't want him to have the legacy that I've set up for my kids. Now, one might say, well, once you're married, he's going to be the one who gets it all anyway. That's not, you can write it in your prenup how you want it. You can write it in legal papers that even if something were to happen, we both are agreeing and get the signature that this is going to go to my kids and I'll get this. Because while we're all alive, the man can say, oh, I wouldn't take from your kids. I would make sure that they get it. But I wouldn't be here to see it.
I know somebody going through the exact same situation at my job right now. She said her mother had a home, the home they grew up in. And she was like, her mother got married to, another man. And her mother passed. And the husband took the house that belonged to their mother and gave it to his son, which is not their brother.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy?
did their kids have a place? Did her kids have a place to stay?
Yeah, I mean, they're all grown, but still, it's like, this is my mom's house that you just gave to your son. And the court's telling him, them, he's the husband. It ain't nothing you can do about it.
So you said you have it in writing.
Right.
Oh my.
That's crazy. And see, that's why I believe you keep your stuff, I keep my stuff. Mine can go to my kids, yours can go to your kids. Because 9 times out of 10, if he moved in with her, that means he didn't have a place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how you gonna take
Or he had lesser of a place.
Right. So how you gonna take my home, my place, and give it to your son?
Yeah.
That don't even make sense. So
Yeah.
I understand people now.
But getting back to your point about loving your me time, I do too. So I was one evening, I had a tough day at work, and I wanted to come home and have my significant other, my husband here waiting to hold me. But then I thought about the times that I had a significant other waiting here, and he didn't hold me. He was just here. So, but I was able to come in, get a nice bottle of wine, retreat to my bedroom, and do the things that I wanted to do. And it was then that I realized the sense of peace that I had in that. I didn't have to debate how I was feeling. I didn't have to say, well, I feel this way. Give me 15 minutes to relax and get myself together, and then I'll come back to you. So I appreciated that downtime. And then when it was over, I went and got myself something to eat, and I felt better. And I was like, that could have gone differently. And it has gone differently for me before.
Because there have been moments where you wanted somebody to be there. You know what I'm saying? You're like, you having a bad day, you really want somebody to be there, or some, a meaningful person, somebody that matters to be there, not just any old random person. You want someone that matters to be there, that you can cry and just be like, oh.
And someone who wants to be there.
Yes.
Because you can have someone that you want there, but maybe they don't want to be there.
Yes.
And that feels as lonely as coming. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even compare. Having someone in my home that I'm married to, that I come home to, and I feel lonely, then coming home alone are two different things. And I would prefer this side of the coin to come home alone, because I'm not lonely. I can choose to bring someone in my space if I want to. But here, I've already chosen, but yet I'm still alone. And I never want that peace again. What are your thoughts on that? Lonely versus alone.
I've heard people say that, well, I'm lonely, but I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. To me, it's the same. It's the same. I mean, I hear what people saying, like, to me, but I just feel like it's the same. I don't like it, but it is what it is. I have embraced it, and I'm okay with it, but ultimately, I don't like being lonely, alone, whichever one. But I like it sometimes, not all the time.
Interesting.
Like, I like to have the options of having that significant other or that person, come over and we, spending our time together. But then I do want those days, like you just said earlier, or a day or two where I just want to be by myself. But ultimately, just being alone and alone, that's the same to me.
I disagree that there's I like that we're going to be on different ends of the spectrum with this one, because I see them differently. So I've been lonely. I longed to have someone to be here and touch me and hold me and give me the things that I needed. I felt so, like, even with 5 people around me, if it wasn't the person touching me, I felt lonely. If it wasn't the person that my heart ached for, my heart wanted. But now, in this different space that I'm in, I am alone. I don't have a significant other, but I'm not lonely. So that means I'm happy. I feel free. I have the choice to choose who comes into my space. If I want, I can pick up my little black book, if I had one, and choose to call someone and say, hey, you want to go out and do this? You want to go out and do that? So I chose that. So I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. Over here, I wanted someone, but I couldn't have them. So I longed for them. I was lonely.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I see them as different, but I can definitely respect the differences that we have there.
I think one of the subjects me and my girlfriend was talking about was back to the marriage part. When I was younger, how I dreamed, oh, I want to be married. I want to have the family. And it's just funny to me now that at this age, it just has completely changed. And it's like, it's funny how life changed. I don't know if it was the outcome of the marriage that has made it change, or the dating world.
That will definitely do it.
That has made it change. But I don't know. I really just don't feel like I would have to get married again.
Yeah. Like
really
the ring,
okay.
you don't want the ring.
They can give
You don't want the marriage, the honeymoon,
I mean, I want to do trips, so we can do honeymoons. We can do a spiritual wedding, like, oh, we're going to be with each other. I commit to you. Commitment. Oh, I commit to you. You commit to me. And we're going to love each other. And la, la, la. And that's it. And then we can go on a honeymoon. But,
you know, when I get married again, because it will happen, I'm going to say, my husband, everything that happens, my husband, if I need to pick up a stick, I'm going to say, my husband said I don't need to pick up a stick. Like, I just want to be able to say that again. And now that I'm older, more mature, I feel like I could appreciate a husband better than I did when I was in my mid-20s. In my mid-20s, I know I didn't appreciate the husband for what it was. But to take it a couple of decades later, I feel that I would. And it would be my preference if I could marry someone who has experienced marriage before.
Yep.
Because those who haven't, they have to go through the things that we've already learned. Like, life is the best teacher.
Right.
So we've learned some things from our marriage. Now, I'm not saying that there's not an opportunity that a man that's never been married wouldn't be a good husband for me. But my experience is teaching me that experience in that area might be the better teacher for my next husband.
I agree, 100%.
So I'm definitely waiting for him to find me, and I'm hopeful that he will.
That's on my list.
That's on your list?
That's on my list.
All right.
Yes,
I love it.
Like, that's one, please have to experience divorce and heartbreak or something so you can know what it feels like to have love and lost. And you never want to go through that again.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, that wraps up our topic. Thank you for listening to Tea Time with the Divas. And we're going to sign off with
DIVA.